And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 73. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with indie creator Mike Wheeler, who runs Divinity Comics, and they have many comic books that they are putting out going into 2025, 2026 via crowdfund. They do very, very successful. I did end up buying Boobs #1. Still have to review it. I have it somewhere in here, where I have to, review the Marvel stuff, DC stuff, Image stuff, and the other indie stuff that I bought too. But don't worry, as you guys know, I love me some boobs, as everyone knows, because I love women. Just contrary to popular belief, I really do love women, actually, And Mike has been on the show on my past shows with the Iron Man podcast, but as you guys know, like with comics, I retcon that out of existence. Well, to be fair, it still exists. I just went in a different direction. You know what, Mike? I'm all in right now, like DC. All in, like with my new wife. She throws me out every night for her boyfriend and makes me go outside and sleep on the couch.
Wow. Yeah, and the last time I was on the show, you still said you had to read Boobs 3. You need to spend more time reading books instead of on YouTube shows.
That's true. Because the thing is, when I do content, it's such quality that you can't miss it. That's the problem,
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I mean, hell, since Boobs, we've already launched, 6 projects since then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've been around a minute. And I hate that word creator. Don't call me that. I'm not a creator. I'm a writer.
You're not a creator?
Oh, nah, man. I don't want to be lumped in with all these fucking idiots. I really don't.
I think you're getting to the point. I think you're at the point now where it's like, as I told you before, I'm literally just cool with like my computer, just making content, going to work, getting paid, reading some books, and I'm good. I don't really need anything else at this point,
Yeah, I noticed earlier I was cruising around the internet and I saw you had Pops Van Zandt on. That was kind of funny. I was listening to some of the stuff. Yeah, I like some of the stuff he says. He's entertaining. He's got a good voice, and
yeah,
he will lull you into that rhetoric that everybody can work together and we're all gonna hold
it's
hands
optimism.
and sing kumbaya.
Yeah, and, I told him that before. I'd say, hey man, you're like the only person that really sees it this way, because that, and it's not. He has that like childish mindset where it's not bad. It's the way you grow up. You grow up and you're like, you look at the world optimistically. There's good in everyone. There's the hope in everyone. I can talk to this person and I can change. So it's like, Pops, that's not happening. That's not how life is. Life is not an anime or a movie you randomly saw. There's no way.
And we found that out the hard way. I mean, every time we've tried to work together with other people in this sphere, it never ends up working out ever. It hasn't once. And I think a lot of it is when you deal with a lot of people in the indie sphere, a lot of them are just aspiring. They have like somewhat of a good idea, and they have somewhat of a direction, but they really don't have any follow through, I guess you would say, or resources in order to get that accomplished, or experience to get that accomplished. So you end up dealing with a lot of people that are kind of on the unprofessional side, and there's always this link. Yeah, you've heard that phrase. You're only as strong as the weakest link, right? So if you're sitting here and you're associating with yourself with all of these people in the indie community, and you've got one weak link, I mean, you're out of the game, because we're already at the bottom, kind of, right? We're not mainstream. We don't have distribution. We're not very. We're not selling thousands and thousands of books. You know what I mean? We all each have our own little fan base, and we have our own ideals and own beliefs on how things should be done. So when you try to culminate that together with all these different viewpoints, there's inevitably going to be conflict.
The other problem is that I think a lot of people just don't understand how low on the totem pole you really are. So I think I've explained this before on like a few shows. There's Marvel and DC, and then there's Image. And then after that, there's Dark Horse. Then you have IDW. Then you have Boom. And then after that, you have Titan Comics, or it's Titan Books. Then you have like Antarctic Press and like Dynamite Entertainment. Like
Yeah.
even people like Dynamite Entertainment and Antarctic Press and like Titan Books, they're like on a tier below IDW and Dark Horse and Boom. And then
Right.
after that, you have like all of you guys essentially. Like you guys are under all of those companies right there that have like
Yeah.
a distribution model too. And the other thing people don't factor in, man, like you brought up, I think on some of those past shows, Image by themselves is a mainstream publisher that can produce indie titles. They're producing indie titles every week. Every
Right.
week.
Every week, yeah. And they're also developing these properties and putting them out on a monthly schedule. And
Yeah,
see, that's
right.
really the thing. If you can't deliver and come out with some kind of release schedule where you're at least releasing content, every couple of months, you're going to be so far behind everybody else.
Mhm.
You've got these guys that run 1 and 2 crowdfunding campaigns a year, and they're like, oh, well, poor me, I'm only making like $3,000. It's like, yeah, people aren't going to wait 6 months to find out what the fuck happens.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is, I think a lot of people just don't understand like how much money is already in a niche in and of itself, right?
I
And
mean,
then
the
how
majority of my relationships haven't even lasted 6 months. You think I'm going to wait on a fucking book?
no
Like, I would
quality,
do
man.
girlfriends faster than that.
Hey. How dare you talk about my wife like that? Oh my god. Jeez, man. Like I was glad you brought that up because I've only experienced that in this scene. No one
Yeah.
like people say, but what about movies? Okay, if anyone uses because people said before, but movies take about a couple years to come out. Okay, guys, that is
Do you have
not the
any idea?
same.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
can't
even
even compare it.
close.
No.
Because first of all, movies have to be greenlit by someone. You have to get the budget for the movie. You have to
Yep.
cast all the actors. You have to get directors, producers, writers, background actors, makeup artists. You have to book places to film. There's a reason why movies come out every
what
2, 3
takes the
years.
longest? What takes the longest is the CG, the special effects, and the after effects.
Yeah.
All of that shit they got software, they got people they're sitting there building all the models and stuff, and like
Yeah.
that's what takes the time is the post processing.
Yeah.
Till you can shoot a movie in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But putting it together, that's where your fucking time constraint is.
And people were like, well, but movies come out every couple of years and you'll wait for quality then. Well, there's a completely different structure about how you make a movie. And plus, there's many different factors in to how you make a movie and get it made from point A to point B to point C, because guys, that's an entirely different creative process. And plus, there's way more hands in the cookie jar, and that happens too. There's way more people involved in a movie production than making a comic book. Like if you read a mainstream comic book and you read the table of contents, there's maybe like at max like 12 names there. On a movie, guys, there's a reason why they display all the credits at the end of a movie. There's a ton of people that probably worked on that project,
Right.
Like if anyone says they're the same, they're just like absolutely retarded. And people keep bringing this notion of, well, I'm waiting for this book because it's going to be quality. I never understood this. Why can't you put out a quality book on time? Because doesn't your competitors do that? Like people put out quality books on time. I don't know why this notion is like waiting for it longer automatically means it's going to be a better product. That doesn't even make logical sense because no functioning business does that. That's like saying go to McDonald's, order like quarter and a large fry, but wait like 5 hours because it's going to be a quality quarter pounder and fries. No one would do that. They would be straight up out of business if they did that. Nobody does that. It's only in this space. I've talked to many business owners. I know them on Facebook. I know a lot of people in town that have business. I legit told them something like this. They're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, like they couldn't believe it. It's complete.
It's
Weirdos.
It's crazy how you can come out with so much content and you can sit back and you can watch everybody basically with their thumb up their ass. Like, I mean, what destroyed Comicsgate was the fact that they allowed pros into the space that decided they wanted to spend more time on YouTube than creating books. You explained to me how a pro on a monthly release schedule can go from releasing an entire book, production of a book with DC every single month, and then take 3 years to fulfill.
I mean, you said it before. Remember, it was the last show you were on, the
and then
other show.
you got it.
He was the fall guy. He's the person
And
that's
also,
doing
right. And also, you have Eric July, who's made how much money, and he's only come out with how many fucking books? What the hell is he doing?
So far? I saw him 1, 2, Alpha Core, Yaira, Ripazines, Horseman, and the other one, oh, Gooding. I think it's about with like 10, 11 stuff so far.
Even with the small amount of money I make, I've come out with more books than that.
Yeah. And that's thing you brought up earlier, last time you were on, which is like, God, these like I started to learn the reason why some of these like comic book pros couldn't do it on their own, because they're not like socially inept at like what goes on. They literally just are in their own little circle, little pocket of whoever they're trying to interact with, and then people that factor in the company that is like Marvel and DC, they're getting all the other stuff done. They're getting like the people that are running the production, like the editors, whatever. They're getting all the other stuff done. So if Ethan's only going to be able to do like art, well, that's only job. It's easier just having one job than having like 5. And he's launched like other campaigns that aren't going to be fulfilled. He said he's going to try to have one fulfilled like once every year. He said that last year, and well, nothing's got fulfilled this year. It's like. You remember that, right? He said, well, Comics Day, we're going to do a book every year. And by we, he doesn't mean the people that are doing that. He means himself, but that never happened. He's busy, like, telling people about his wife. That's the other thing, too. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't know that chick. Like, should I care that she is going through a bad disease? Maybe. I don't wish that on anybody, but trying to garner sympathy out of people because your wife has some disease and your daughter's autistic is, I don't know. That's pretty disgusting to me, because we're never going to meet them. We're never going to interact with them. They mean nothing by what we're talking about, right? So why does he bring them up? I never understand that. I think that to me is worse than anything else, like not late books or anything. It's like, why are we talking about people that we're never going to meet or care about?
Isn't part of being a man like owning and taking responsibility for your actions and not blaming it on others, regardless of your personal family life or situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that's the way I grew up. I don't know. Maybe he didn't grow up that.
Dude, there are people in the army that have lost their legs and arms that don't bitch and moan as much as this guy does on Twitter. Actually crazy, right?
True.
Yeah. Like, this guy's sitting here telling us, oh, okay, your wife had something bad happen to you. I do genuinely feel bad about that. But I don't know why talking about it consistently changes anything. It doesn't change the situation. This is what it is. You either move on from it or you simply try to learn how to deal with it. That's how everyone does it in real life. When something bad happens to you, you just learn how to live with it, or you just adjust, or you simply just give up. And to be fair, if her man-picking choices was Ethan Van Sciver, I mean, should I really give a fuck what she says anyway, for being honest here? That's who she's going to choose to be her husband? I mean, not to be a dick here, guys, but when women don't really have the best, choices, when women don't really have the best eye, let's say, for picking guys, let's say that, I'm pretty sure you saw what happened recently is your wife, Mindy. She's been very hard on John Malin, like even more than Ethan. She's very hard on him. Did you see the stuff that happened recently?
John is a different cat. He's a real different cat.
Yeah.
I really don't really know what's going on with them, but it's not.
Did you see the whole award thing that happened where the lady who ran her YouTube and Twitter account, she shut it down because they were doing this like award show called Who Gives a Damn Awards, and then Ethan and John found out they weren't nominated for like anything, and then John went and bitched about it on his YouTube channel, and then Ethan, the night they were holding the award show, Ethan basically had his people go over there and bombard her channel. And then she had ended up saying that War Campaign was right about John Malin. And then after that, later on, it was earlier today or yesterday, she ended up just shutting down her Twitter account and just deleting her YouTube channel. A person that promoted any comic books for years. I don't get it.
War Campaign is a different animal entirely. I don't feel sorry for them at all. I mean, hell, they're the ones that were doing the bidding of Captain Frogman forever. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, good Lord, man. I mean, how do you view Comicsgate? Most people are just calling it dead at this point.
I think it is. I think it's something that's just going to be going by the wayside. Because right now, it's just basically a fucking retirement home. It's a retirement home for old pros. It really is. Yeah. And I think Eric July is going to find himself in the same boat. You can agree or not, but I don't think the answer to making your company stronger is bringing in people like Mike Barron, Chuck Dixon, and people at the past the twilight of their prime. I don't think that's a recipe for success. You know, if I were him and I had the money that he did, I would be looking at people like Scott Snyder, James Tinian, uh, getting some quality talent in there that, you know, is young, fresh, and has some miles left on them. Um, you can say, oh well, you know, they have this experience and they have this well, you know, just experience. And I would say, well, you know, yeah, they had experience back in 1970, 1980, but what do they have now? Like, I mean, you're talking about guys that can barely even use the fucking computer. And this is who you're relying on to drive your company forward? I mean, they might as well be looking at a fucking comic book through an old viewfinder, you know, those discs.
I know
I
Mike
mean,
recently launched a Sherlock Holmes book he's going to be doing. I don't know about Chuck. I think Chuck is doing Joe Frankenstein.
they haven't written anything quality in over 30 years, and I will stand by that. Even the shit they're putting out now is garbage. I've read it.
Mhm.
It's not good. It's
Mhm.
just not good. It's not what they used to do. But see, back then, again, you know, pulling back the curtain, they had editors, and the editors were the ones that would come up with the concepts, and then
Mhm.
they would make the writers do the grunt work.
Mhm.
So without a proper editor, a creative direction, you've got writers again going crazy, you know, in a driving a car backwards down the track. They don't know what they're doing. They're just thinking, oh, well, you know, I was a writer and everything I write is good. No, man, it's the editor that makes your shit good. It's not.
Mhm.
It's not a writer.
I think that's man. Even people that like buy products in like a comic book shop or does anything of that nature, they're always like, "Man, the thing I just bought is the best thing." Well, of course, you would think that. You have to be biased for the things you just did. Like, it's just how
Yeah,
that works. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I've had Mike on the show. Hopefully, I have him on again to talk about his new book.
he's a sweet guy. He's a real sweet guy. He's nice. He's courteous. Professionally good to work with. You know, I'm not saying anything bad
He's
about
like,
the guy.
I've never even heard him talk shit about people, honestly.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, I've read his stuff and it's not what it used to be.
Mhm.
And that's just the facts. You know, it's
Mhm.
if it wasn't, he would be selling more than what he is.
Because I've seen him go on Comicsgate Kings, but I don't think Mike is Comicsgate. I think he only goes on there
Uh,
because Ethan has a big audience and he knows that people like him there, and he can just not say much and they'll just buy his shit because he's Mike
There's
Barron.
there's one guy that I know of that still has it, and that's Chris Claremont.
That
He's
guy
still
sure can
got it.
write. Yeah, I
He's
actually
still got it.
I read he was writing that one. Oh fuck, he was writing this one Wolverine series that I was reading. That I read only issue one. I've had to read issue 2, 3, and 4. He wrote Wolverine Deep Cut. I'm like, I
Yeah,
can see why people will hype this guy. Pretty
yeah.
talented. Definitely
Well,
knows how to make things flow. Yeah.
there's the guy that's a little bit younger than Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron too, but he's still kind of up there. Who's still got it? Dan Jurgens,
Fucking hell. You know, I think
Superman.
a guy who his name there's another guy remember is also Dan. Dan Mora. He's a
Hmm.
fantastic artist, honestly. Ah, my god, his art is like I don't know. I like art where it feels like I can tell the character is fully there. I like that kind of art. You know, not like ultra super realistic in the more of the cartoony-ish way. Man, Dan Mora he just has it. I think Dan Mora smokes like most comic book artists, in my opinion, honestly.
Yep.
You know, it's something that you brought up earlier with some of these guys. Like last night, I think Ethan was running like Comicsgate Kings and shit, and then he would go back to their campaigns because he said like if you just do the show, it's just full of commercials, no one backs anything. You go back to some of these guys' campaigns, some of these guys barely gained like one or two backers, honestly. You know,
Yeah.
like man, guys, Ethan runs a show of like 1,000+ people. You know, and if you're only getting like 2 or 3 backers on some of these books. Like one guy, I remember Eric Weathers, he launched Battle Break Road 2 on Indiegogo, and I think it barely hit like $250. It hasn't even hit the flexible goal, you know?
I'm sitting at what $10,725 right now on XFM.
How dare you? Can I get
Yeah.
some money? Like,
It's on
goddamn,
my screen. All you gotta do is share it. You can see it.
I'm
Right
broke.
there.
X-Fam. Oh, this is your newest
Yeah,
comic.
this is the newest one right here.
Awesome. There's boobs
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of boobs here.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, what's the idea behind this book this time around? Just basically just a parody of X-Men.
Yeah,
X-Men
yeah,
slash
it's a parody gender swap of X-Men, and it's very well written. Um, it's got a
yeah.
lot of it's got a very good story arc. It's going to be 3 issues.
Story. That's why they're
Yeah,
buying this for. Hell yeah. They're not buying
yeah.
it for like the assets, right?
No, it's totally the story.
Oh
Look at that
God, man.
Wolverine there. Look at
Oof. Looking juicy. God
that.
damn.
We got a little action going on.
Oh God. Uh that's not gonna be a cover, right?
Yeah, that's a cover, dude.
Mike, are you dementedly horny?
And
God, man.
that's how you stand chest to chest right there.
Good gosh, man. You know how people get mad at people on Kickstarter for running like the campaigns that you guys do because they're
Yeah.
like boob related, but they're like, but you're putting out smut. It's like, well, it's not
Well,
really.
if my shit's smut and it sells more than yours, what does that make yours? Garbage?
I think that isn't that kind of how it equals to. I mean, all that matters at the end of the yeah, I've spoken this before. All that matters at the end of the day is money because money gives you more options to do more different things. So if you don't make
Hey,
any money, then I guess your project fucking failed by that logic,
hey,
right?
check it out. Extra support.
Yeah, that's a nice rack she got there.
Yeah.
Good lord, that. Why are you doing this to me? Why are there's boobs on my screen? Oh my goodness. Good lord, man. Because you guys did Star Wars, X-Fem, you did boobs. What's the
Yeah.
other one? You got
You
the
got your little
Comics
furry right there
Illustrated.
too. Look at that little
Oh
furry for you.
God, man. Comics Illustrated, you have that. How many books do you plan on putting out in 2025? Like what, 2 books, I think you
20.
said?
20.
No way.
Yeah.
You're fucking with me. 20 books? You're out
No.
of your mind.
20. 100%. It's gonna be 20.
Are you doing that through like a distributor? Or are you doing this all by yourself?
All by yourself.
Oh shit! Fucking hell!
I've got a pirate book called Surrender the Booty. I've got Trailer Park Alien. I have a couple other ones that I'm working on the scripts for. I don't want to release the names of those yet. We also have G Busters 2, Boobs 3, the next episode of Star Wars. We're going to be doing X-Fem 2. Dude, it just goes on and on and on. Yeah, 20, at least 20.
And these are going to be like 35, 50-page books, right?
Well, no, we only do about 28 to 34
Okay.
pages.
Just like also basically bigger than the standard floppy, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. You already have 10K on this. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Hell yeah. So when are you planning on fulfilling this? When should this book be in backers' hands?
This will be in everybody's hands probably before April of next year.
I heard that you're supposed to wait for quality. You're supposed to wait like 3 years for books. That's where you get the real.
No, we don't do that.
Oh God, man! I
Our
heard
stuff is quality without having to wait that long. Check that out. It's possible.
crazy concept, right? It's actually
it's
insane.
possible.
You can do that. Yeah, I heard that if you wait 3 years, that's when you really get the best books. And it's like, you don't understand how what a dumb logic that is. If you wait 3 years for something and it's not considered good by however you judge whatever you like to read or watch, you're gonna be so disappointed. You waited that long for something not good. No, it can only just lead to bad shit. And the fact that a lot of people think that is a sentiment is disgusting. Where's the drive to want to keep doing more and put stuff out in a more consistent fashion? You know, where is it?
Well, if you're not a professional, you don't have it. That's the problem.
Oh God. The other thing. Oh, because there's more things. First, what about Larry? Have you guys interacted with good old Larry in a while?
Larry and I, it's complicated, but dude, I've been fighting with that dude for so long. I don't care to do it anymore. I'm tired of it, man. It's childish. Yeah. I don't think it serves any purpose. I've got no problems with him. we're good.
Yeah. I remember recently you got into a Twitter spat. It was the whole dark GIF, but you're cool with dark GIF, aren't you?
Yeah, but it wasn't a spat. I was just telling him and Richard to kind of tone it down. I said, we're not helping anyone here. And see that what it was Ethan was throwing DG under the bus, trying to blame
Mhm.
him for some stupid shit. And then, him and Richard, they don't get along. So I was
Oh
just
yeah.
stepping in because I'm friends with both of them. I'm friends with Rich and I'm friends with DG. And I said, hey guys, this is what they want. You know, this is what Ethan wants. This is his MO. The second he gets people to turn on each other, and that's what he wants
Mhm.
because now the focus is on you and not on his late books. And
Yeah.
that's what he is. He's a drama farmer. That's all he wants to do is distract people and get people fighting amongst themselves. And he doesn't want people that aren't professionals or not professionals that aren't from the mainstream in his circle. If you get too big of a following, if you get too close to him, he will throw you under the bus. Remember how tight him and Matt Barr were? They were on streams
Yeah.
together all the
Yeah.
time. They were best friends. And then what did he do? He threw Matt Barr
Yeah.
under the bus.
The moment Matt Barr started basically
He was more
counteracting, yeah,
likable than Ethan. He was more likable on stream than Ethan. And people started talking, oh, Matt Barr's great, blah, 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 this, oh, we love Matt
yeah,
Barr. And the second he got more attention than Ethan, oh, that's it. It's over. Can't have anything to do with you anymore. And it's a consistent pattern. You look what he's done, from the start. He got rid of Tim Lim. He got rid of fucking Mike S. Miller, Doug TenNapel. The second you buck him or you don't agree with him, he will throw you under the bus, run you over, and back up the truck and do it again. That's
that's
what he does.
God.
That's what he
Oh,
does.
oh shit. Oh my God, man. Good Lord. Making it sound like he's like Michael Myers on crack.
He is. He is a fucking deranged, psychopathic fucktard. That's what he gets off on it, dude. He
No,
has
I
to.
agree. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no other explanation than he has to be sitting there off camera jerking off to this shit. He likes it that much.
Oh shit. Oh my God. It's one of those things where because he's talked about not being in drama and he's said various
He's the
things over the years.
creator of all the
I thought,
drama.
yeah, yeah.
He makes it. He's the manufacturer of drama. Like if there was a fucking drama factory, this son of a bitch would run it. He would be the CEO of that motherfucker.
Dude, there was a time where Shane Davis, right? He lost his YouTube
Yeah.
channel and then he got it back. Surprisingly, he got it back. I don't wish anyone lose their fucking shit. His wife on the stream, Yanzi, was like, "Could we just have a day in indie comics where we don't have any drama?" As she's literally sitting next to her husband, who is a part of it, and Ethan. It's like, are we like not even able to see reality for what it is anymore? Is that how life is now? When something is right in front of you, we just have to basically go, I'll walk past it. Not actually deal with it problem, but we'll just walk past it. Like Ethan was like, well, my late books aren't really that bad. Tell it to the people that invested hundreds and hundreds of dollars into your product in. Go tell them that on the Indiegogo.
Well, he would rather take that money and buy a house than fulfill your book.
Yeah. He literally had
and that's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
He literally had a tweet. I remember I should have bookmarked it. I'm pretty sure I did, where he said, my late books really aren't that big of a deal. What a spit in the face to all the people that gave you money hoping to get a product, actually. Then he just launches a new campaign.
And then another campaign, and then a toy, and then this, and then that, and then the book's still sitting there.
5 closeouts, and then a new book. And it's like, people here can barely get a book out. This motherfucker's worrying about toys. Like, that's the last thing people should have on their minds is fucking toys. What is he showing him up his ass? Like, I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't put that past anything. I wouldn't.
I have Cyberfrog toys. Okay, you shoving that toy up your? I don't know.
Yeah, I was on the stream. I was on the stream too with Frog Tony last night, and he was like, "You know what I'm gonna do?
Oh no.
I'm gonna get you and Ethan back together. And I was like, back together, dude. We were never together in the first place.
It sounds so gay. No, Tony has had his own way of doing things. Me and him never had really any issues with each other. I used to have him
Oh
on
no,
some one-on-ones
I
back in the
like him.
day.
I think he's funny.
He is a certain crazy person now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I like him. I think he's really funny. But he was like, oh well, we can. This is it's a new year. We can patch things up, and if he can make up with Liam, he can make up with the Wheelers. And I was like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It ain't about me. It's about Mindy. That's gonna be a tough road to fucking climb.
Yeah, Mindy does not like Ethan.
She's got daggers out for that dude because of what he did. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, I wonder what he's gonna do. Is Frog Tony gonna go up there and say, "Well, why don't you like the Wheelers?" And he's gonna be like, "Well, because I lied about them." Like, what's he gonna say? Because what
No,
else can
he's
he
not
say?
saying that. Like, he's
Well,
not bringing what you
yeah,
just set up. That's not happening.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's gotta be something else. Like, well, they were trying to, or Mindy was trying to talk to me about some app. Yeah, and that's it. That was it. That's the whole offense. Mindy wanted to talk to him about putting out an app and seeing if it was a good idea, if it would be something they could use. And then he went around, blasted her on stream, said she was trying to get his attention, not bothering her, that she was a crazy person, just going all fucking left field on stuff that never even fucking happened. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's just the whole scene is full of just random drama. One day it's one thing, the other day it's another thing, then it's another thing. It's like, could there be? I think that's what the whole scene has just devolved into. Is just random. People said blood sports. It's just drama every single day. There's this guy named
It
Bosch
is.
that's on Comicsgate Kings, and the only reason why he's there is because he wrote a 4-page love letter to EVS saying how much better he was a creator than Eric July and all sort of bullshit. And then magically 1 week later on that Monday for Comicsgate Kings, and Bosch is on there. That's all it takes? Writing a 5-paragraph essay saying how much I love you?
Who the hell is Vosh? I don't even know who this dude
He
is.
said he was a well-renowned, creator. He's been on Fox, CNN, bunch of this other bullshit. He said people knew. He said he's famous, but I was like, I've never heard of this guy. I've
Neither have
never heard of
I.
that guy. No one's heard of him.
Everybody, so I don't know.
Yeah. He said, I'm famous. For who? I don't know you. Who the fuck are you? Oh,
I even know the retards, and I don't know you. What's to say about you?
I just never seen anything like that where a guy could come out basically with a 3-paragraph essay saying how much he loves another guy, and then he ends up on his show. I've known people that suck off Ethan way more than that. They don't get anything, not even looked at.
No.
What the hell?
Or they get thrown into the bus.
God, man, because people even accuse you.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Matt Barr's lips, they're not dry.
Because people even accuse you of drama farming. Do you think you drama farm at all?
No, I point out stupid shit.
Yeah.
People don't like that I point it out. But if you're being dumb and I see it and I'm like, man, that's just really fucking retarded. Sometimes I say shit because I can't contain myself. I have no self-control. That's my biggest problem. I really don't. Like sometimes, and I have no filter. So you put the two together: no self-control, no filter. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
Well, because I'll ask you this: since you run a lot of campaigns, do you know people now are complaining that their campaigns aren't performing very well as far as like money? Why do you think that is? It could be a multitude of reasons. Lateness, story wasn't interesting when they dropped their first book. People read it, like you said, they don't like it, or people just didn't read it and just don't care, and they only wanted to just buy it because they were supporting a friend. Why do you think every single campaign's not hitting the numbers like they used to?
I think it's a combination of buyer fatigue and people just not putting out good content. Um, that's your biggest telltale sign that your content is kind of waning, is when your numbers start to slide. Um, you see that with Ethan too. You know, he's not making near as much money as what he used to make. Um, his campaigns are suddenly on the decline. That's because a lot of people are tired of waiting on his books and stuff. It's not because his content's bad. I'm not saying that. Because his art's fantastic. You know, he is a fantastic artist. I'll give him that. Uh, I think it's just people either they're getting tired of the book, waiting long periods of time for the books, or it's your content not doing so well. So I mean, that combination is, you know, it's not a good recipe.
Yeah, I think another problem when it comes to this stuff is everyone thinks their stuff is so good, and it's like I don't know how
Oh,
to do
Pops
the
is in the chat. Fucking Pops. All right, what you say?
So man, he's the dude that drew Muhammad in Garland, Texas, and was attacked by those people at the signing. Like the feds were involved.
Well,
I've never heard of the story.
Why was he drawing Muhammad when he knew it was going to piss people off? I mean, that's not a very smart thing.
I think he said on Twitter he was doing it for his. I don't know that Bosch guy just. I'm not thinking he wasn't famous before or he didn't have some level of fame, but the way that everyone else that I knew saw him, if you are coming out and you are proclaiming, you're professing your love to someone like the way you did, a lot of people are just gonna think you're just a fucking dick sucker. That's what they are, you know. Like I don't know anything that guy's done ever. And I've heard of a lot of people, you know. I would say like Jerry Duggan. Jerry Duggan probably is more famous than Bosch.
Yeah.
Mark Wade more famous than Bosch, you know.
This is true.
Oh God.
He is an ex-Muslim. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever. I guess. I guess really don't
now
care.
You got to go to Blue Sky. That's where all the Democrats are going. You know.
I still have I already signed up for an account over there.
I have one. I got to post on there a little bit. I just wrote some.
There's not many more people in the world that are more sexually frustrated than Democrats, and I love taking advantage of that market.
Oh my God, man! That's why you secretly need a black protagonist in one of your books, a black female. You know.
Yeah.
Call it Democrats. There you go. I just made you $20,000 right there.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, you know, the black chicks don't really sell that well.
Of course they don't. They're not attractive.
You would think they would, you know.
No, I know they wouldn't.
Out there.
Black women are not attractive.
But apparently, black nerds really like white women. I don't know why.
Yes, yeah. I told you that. I was like, I've never. It's very rare. There's very few black women that I'll be attracted to. It's very few. I've been probably attracted to maybe less than 5, 6 black women in my entire life. I just don't find black women all that attractive. But it's weird because white men like black girls. I just find it so weird. Black men don't.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I just figured it out just now. You know what it is? Because a black chick would whoop your ass for reading comics. She'd be like, "What the fuck you doing wasting your time on this shit? You better go make me some food."
Oh my God. No, dude. Some of them don't even have real hair. How am I gonna deal with that? How am I gonna deal with the girl that ain't got no real hair? Like, holy fucking shit, man. I don't know. Dating a black girl is just not in my cards. I'm good. I also find it very bad if I were to date someone that I'm not sexually attracted to. I feel like that's very bad. Because like, we gotta do it for the personality. Well, like I don't know about that. If I can't physically look at you and think you're attractive, I don't think I could see you. It's the personality that counts. That's fucking gay. What the hell? But so what's the whole thing? It's not about what's in the outside, it's about the inside. That's stupid shit, man. But yeah, just seeing all of them migrate over to Blue Sky, and it's like then apparently Blue Sky's been having all these reports, like all this like say pedophilic and all this other disgusting content getting reported. Yeah, the reason why they're not on Twitter is because X is the biggest social media platform in the world. I mean, that's why everyone's there. And they feel like if they're on this other one, which is going to get less traction by default, they can go just do whatever they want over there and not get called out. They literally just want to not get called out for disgusting shit constantly.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. Like the whole thing, there was you saw the whole Congresswoman Meg Bride thing, right? Recently, where it's the The
No, man.
trans.
I don't even have time to watch the news. I don't even know what the fuck's going on with all that shit.
Oh no, it's not. I mean, oh, to be fair, it would be in the news. This fucking dude is trying to basically put men and women sports. It's just still going on. If you got a dick, be in the guy sports. That's how it works.
Well,
You
you
know.
know what? We gave them the right to vote, and they voted away their bathrooms. I say whatever.
Did you actually go and vote, or you just didn't do it this time
Fuck
around?
no, dude. I set that shit out. You know why? I fail to believe in a country with 400 million people that those were our two best options.
Yeah.
No, no way. And I can't put it. No, no, I wasn't gonna vote for either one of them.
It's such a crazy world we live in where that was like Kamala Harris was just absolute garbage. All she was running on was just what abortion and higher
But
taxes.
I will tell you this: I would have voted for Kamala over Trump if I had.
Really?
You damn right, 100%.
Wouldn't she be bad for someone of your size of business?
I I don't know, not at all. In fact, she would be better than Trump because you know what Trump wants to do?
He essentially cutting bigger taxes for the larger corporations, right?
No, that's not it. What's he gonna do? He's gonna increase tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I get all my products made that I can't make myself?
You get them from China, I would imagine, like a lot of people do.
So what's gonna happen to all my costs?
Oh, okay. Now I see your point. You don't want to do it all in house. Don't you guys have your own
We
print or
do, but you know there are some things that we can't do in house. You know, like lenticulars, some of the plushy stuff, some of the
yeah.
toys, that kind of stuff. We can't do that stuff in
Hmm.
house. I mean, I'm not gonna bust out a sewing machine and be Martha Stewart, dude. It's not gonna happen. Like,
Just saying
yeah,
that
you know, and
you
if we
could.
need T-shirts mass printed or something, you know, I mean, it's too expensive to do in the States.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got. Hey, man, just get a sewing machine and start going to town.
And
Let's
see,
go.
it's so stupid too that you know he wants to increase the tariffs because it doesn't do anything. The only thing it does is increase the cost of stuff for us because China's not going to pay these tariffs. They're going to ship that shit to Taiwan, and then Taiwan's going to ship it to us, and Taiwan doesn't have any tariffs. So what's it going to do? It's not going to do anything. The only thing
I,
it
I
does is increase the shipping costs.
I think he's just very big on just doing stuff in house. So you don't have to rely on them as much.
He
But it's
doesn't
kind of like two out of the.
understand.
Well, that's the thing is at that point that system's already been created to a point where we essentially have to rely on them for very specific things. You
He
know,
has
unless
no
we're just going to upend the
idea.
entire thing.
He has no idea how the economy works. He has no idea how logistics works. He has no idea how trucking works. He has no idea how the farming business works. All of that stuff is above his head. He has no idea.
Mhm. Well, what made you guys bring up the whole printer thing? It was because you had that issue with that one other guy, and you were like, you know what? Instead of just going through printers, I'll
Yeah,
just do it myself.
you know, once Ready Comics said that they weren't going to print Star Wars with the ad, or it was G Busters with the ad in it for Star Wars, we were like, you know what? Well, this is our first case of getting involved with censorship, kind of. You know, people
Oh
telling us
yeah.
what we can and cannot put in a book, and we didn't like that. We said, well, you know, we're not going to sit here and deal with people and be beholden to someone else on whether or not we're able to fulfill our customers' books. I want to be in control of what I put in the books. I don't want anybody to tell me otherwise. So we're going to take the entire control of the whole process. So we invested a lot of the money that we made into buying the printers, buying all of the equipment, and getting everything set up so we could be self sufficient. And now my print costs have gone from around $4 to $5 a book down to less than $2 a book.
Hmm. Did you find basically putting it all together and getting that stuff done hard? Actually, I know you guys had
No,
this like transition period where you had to get all set up.
It was mainly learning how to work the software, the in position software to get the print
Ooh.
job to print correctly. Once we were able to figure out the software, the rest was pretty much smooth sailing. And then, there's a lot of tweaking in regards to, all right, well, foil covers, the print process for that is different. And the covers have to be manually affixed because the printer will not staple through it. So, we had to get a saddle stitcher and then figure out that process. It was just a
Good
lot
God.
of testing involved.
Good God. And now people can basically go through you to get their books printed instead of, one of their,
Well, they could if I allowed it, but
if you allow it. That's
I would rather not because I didn't do all of this to make everybody else successful. I would rather put my foot on top of their head and hold them underwater.
right. Why are you so mean? What happened to you, man?
Well, I became a realist, and if it was somebody else who's offered me that, who's offered to come take my hand and baby me,
Oh, yeah.
nobody,
Saying, yeah. Yep.
nobody's done me any fucking favors. Everybody in this industry has shit over me and Mindy every chance they've ever fucking gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I going to help any of these little fucks? Fuck them all.
Do you need a hug?
No.
And my hugs are sweet. What the fuck? He rejected my hug, everyone. Oh my God. No, like that's the thing too. I think helping someone can go many different directions, right? But the thing here is like when you help someone, you're usually helping someone that you consider a friend, or not even the fact they pay you back. It's you think you're doing something good for a good person. It's like everyone just kind of thinks they get to be basically given help or deserve it. And it's like, well, the problem with doing that is essentially, I've learned this from other
Why
communities
weren't
too.
they smarter with their money and did the same thing we did?
You think people are smart? That's your first one.
Well,
No.
there you go.
Stupid.
I can't help stupid, can I?
I mean, you know me, you know this well as I do, man. Average person's not that smart,
Yeah.
I mean, the average person believed in certain viruses, and we're standing 5 feet away from someone. Holy shit. And this thing is, when you help certain people, I'm not saying all people do this. When you help certain people, then they feel like they're entitled to getting your help constantly. Like they're not like just happy they got it once and they learn to just, move on and deal with their problems. It's like, if you don't help them this next time, then you were never their friend. And it's just, I can see why people don't help each other in the scene. It makes perfect sense. There's a lot of weird, like, unspoken rules no one tells you about. And then when you find them out, you're just like, oh my God, this is stupid. That's why I think what Eric was doing was fine when he finally did the thing you did, which is like, you know what? Screw everybody else. I'm just doing my own thing. That's it. Nothing else matters. Because try to put your head in the sand, you help a bunch of people out, and then you get called a piece of shit. You're a horrible person. You're
Well,
this,
hey,
that, and the third.
you know what? Everybody in the industry already called me all of that before I even got to where I am. So why am I going to help them out now?
You're fucking mean. Why are you such an asshole to people?
Why am I going to help them out now? Like, we're past that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you're supposed to basically like offer your hands and get on your knees and help out everyone else. But if you were to need this help, vice versa, this wouldn't happen. Let's be honest here,
it won't. It wouldn't. Yeah, because I went years with nobody helping me and talking all the shit they could talk and telling everybody in back chats, oh, don't work with the Wheelers. Oh, these are bad people, all that shit. For years, John, years. So, nah, man, I'm not interested. I'm not. There's a few people that are my friends that, if they need something done or need something printed, I will extend our equipment over to them and I will let them use it and I will do all the work for them. And I won't even ask them another thing because they've had my back, since day one. But if you're not on that list, you can go fuck yourself. Off is the direction in which you can fuck, sir.
What if I don't want to fuck off?
Well, nobody's making you do it.
What if I want to bang my wife?
There you go.
As my pillow. Yeah, like when Larry was talking all that gay bullshit about like this is an entire community, and it's like, dude, some people don't even want to be a part of any of that. Some people just want to just do their own thing and just not deal with that. Why don't I get that option of like, hey, what if I just don't want to deal with people? I just want to get things done and I want to move on and move to the next thing. There's this thing of like, now everyone, if you're a part of this and everyone has to like get along and mingle, it's like, that's just not realistic. I'm sorry. It's an optimistic mindset that used to happen a lot of people, and just my own way of looking at life, but that's just not how life is.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just the real way of looking at things. We don't live in La La Land. I wish I did. It's probably I'll be fucking pays better.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
oh man, we got a little bit of time left because I got to get some other stuff done. We got about 10 minutes left. I got to pick your brain about stuff.
Cool. What do you got?
Nothing. I wasn't really like that. I had absolutely nothing. No, just it's kidding. You don't read comics, do you? Essentially, not anymore.
No, I try my best not to read anything because I don't want the stuff that I write to be affected by anything. I don't want to accidentally come across something and then not remember I came across it and then use it in one of my stories and then have somebody come back and say, you stole my shit, essentially. This way I know for a fact that I am not influenced by anything. All of the stuff that comes out of my head is mine alone, and I can attest to that because I don't read anything anyone puts out.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's... I know you don't care. You're kind of like removed from most of the scene, essentially. You want to just do your own thing. Do you see any hope that things get better?
Well, right now, I think we are on the ground floor of the decentralization of comics. I think we are at the point to where eventually the big two will fail. That's the writing's on the wall. The only thing that's going to be left are people like us. And I think the people that are able to get through this and rise to the top during this transition period are going to be the ones that lead the industry going forward into the next few years, however long that lasts.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the sentiment from the comic book industry is taking down. They want the comic book shop owners to fail, so that way they could just sell their fucking shit.
I do too.
Oh no, you're fucking with me. You really want the comic book shops to fail?
All of them out of business. I don't care.
Mike, you're so evil. What happened to you? Who made your heart? Are you the brain?
It's not my deal, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not in that business. I don't care. I'm in the business of selling books, and right now they won't carry my books because the only thing they'll do is order from Diamond or Lunar. Yeah. And without you giving up at least 50 to 60% of your revenue, you can't be a part of that. So fuck them.
But you'll get that exposure, man.
Yeah, a lot of good exposure does. Fucking Chad Harden was the Harley Quinn artist for how many years? Fucking 5-6 years. And he went out, he did his own crowdfunder campaign. I outsold his ass. So tell me what that exposure is fucking worth.
Oh no, it's
if I can make more money than Chad Harden, who drew Harley Quinn, what's that exposure worth? All right, you look at Antarctic Press. Every goddamn campaign Ben Dunn launches, I outsell that motherfucker. And he runs Antarctic Press. He's got all the exposure in the world. He's in all the comic shops. How much is that exposure worth?
Yeah. I think that it's thinking like the that old band saying, you're getting payment and exposure. Remember that one?
Yeah. God. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. The exposure does not translate.
Yeah.
There's very few and far between cases where it does. There's creators out there that are able to carve out their own niche because they have cultivated a fan base for like 15, 20 years. Like fucking EVS is one of them. Brian Pulido is one of them. There are certain fans who have been around for so fucking long, everyone knows them and they're always going to buy all their shit. If you're just some guy that spends 5-6 years at Marvel or DC and you come and you try to be an EVS or a Brian Pulido, you're going to fall flat on your fucking ass.
Sorry about that. Someone's messaging me and you hear me typing on the computer. So yeah, it's it's crazy. I've also seen other people that have done crowdfunding campaigns put out single issue floppies in Antarctic Press too. I've seen so many of them. I know Raven's Loft did it. I know Mike's did it. I know a lot of people have done it.
I won't deal with Antarctic Press because they're associated with all that pedo shit. I call it pedo shit because that's what I see it as. But You know, when you're sitting there and you're drawing underage girls and stuff in your books, and then you have Kickstarter coming in and saying, oh well, you can't have this crowdfunding campaign because you're in trouble, you're sexualizing a minor. I call that pedo shit. So I would never put anything out with him. I would never get involved with him. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. You're muted.
I don't know why guys draw that kind of stuff. Like why can't you draw women and they look of age? I don't get.
I know why. I can tell you why.
Like, hey, I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to be labeled that, why not just draw of age women and then just say they're 18 years or older? They go out of their way to. They go out of their way to
like it, huh? It's almost like they like it, huh?
They just go out of their way and they're like, well, 16. Well, what? That's kind of the. I mean, I guess age of consent is different in some states. I understand that, but like, why? It's just why? I don't get it. That's why comic book people are idiots. That's how you know you're talking to some actual just basement dwelling nerd with no social line of way of like interacting with the world. You know, that's why certain people here can't like win, because they'll do shit like that. They'll draw like a minor. And because people factor in the United States, no one understands this. Different states classify a minor differently. Some states are 16, some states 18. But most average people go.
I don't care. All that is bullshit. Anyone under the age of fucking 18 is a goddamn minor.
Right.
If you can't join the military, you're a minor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. And it's like, I don't understand why people even toe that line. Why?
Because it shifts that Overton window just so slightly to make it acceptable so they don't seem like fucking pedos.
I guess the logic of it is like, oh, since I'm drawing a character on a piece of paper, then it doesn't matter. And it's like, but why not just make her of age? I don't get it.
It's just to make it acceptable for them so they don't get classified as pedos. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
That's just.
They're like, oh, but the age of consent. Yeah, well, how about the age of these nuts?
Well, I mean, are they big? Like, god damn. Fuck. Good Lord, man. But that's how you know artists aren't smart people, and like how you know they need to be, fucking led down a road, or you have to hold their hand through something. It's like, no, just don't do this. Average people are not going to take it this way, but artists.
How hard is it to say I won't do that to kids? How hard is that?
Not hard at all, honestly.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's more difficult than you would think.
Fucking hell, man. That's why artists are just straight up weird people sitting in a fucking house all day drawing is mentally ripped apart their brains from any like social interaction that they think that would be okay. And it's so unavoidable. Just draw of age women and then just say like they're 18. How hard is that? Why do you have to imply they're 16? I just don't get it. Artists are stupid people. They're just not smart. They're just not intelligent at all,
No, they're just opening themselves up to you and showing you what they're really about and what they really like. That's what it is.
Yeah. Good gracious, man. Why do you do this to me? Why do you make me talk about this hard stuff on the YouTubes? God,
because man, I'm the Howard Stern of comics, man. You didn't know?
God,
I say shit people don't want to hear.
No, you're classified as a drama farmer. God, yeah.
What is it? What they say about Howard Stern? They're like the average Howard Stern listener listens 5 minutes. How about the Howard Stern hater? 15 minutes. They want to see what he's gonna say next.
I remember on Facebook, you got called a drama farmer and stuff like that, and you were just like, "What the fuck? Putting out my opinion is drama farming? That's crazy. Yeah. It's actually insane.
Craziness.
Good Lord. Facebook is where you find more of the weirdos too. Like,
I think Twitter is where the weirdos live, but Facebook is not as bad.
Like, you get paid through posting, don't you? I think at this point.
Oh yeah, dude. I make like. Yeah. I make about 100 something a month just on Facebook right now. It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
But interaction do you build up to get to that?
Let's find out.
I think. Don't you have to have a certain amount of followers and if there's some amount of interaction? I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, here you go. I'll show you.
Because
You go like they have a professional mode now. That's what you do, and then you go to see, share screen, Facebook. There you go. So like you look at my post engagement, it's at like
80,000.
83,000. New followers 597. Estimated daily result, or that's for ads. Let's see. Let's go to performance. Where is performance? Here, more insights. That's probably it.
Post reach.
I don't know why my post reach isn't showing. It usually does. Stupid.
Oh my! Look at all that male skewing audience.
Yeah, man, like 9% women. Look at that. Like there's
there
like
you go. People said, "Hey, women
cool.
aren't in the comic books." They lied. They lied. We got 9%. We're getting there.
So yeah, reactions, interactions. I wish there was a graph that actually showed all this shit
Like
because my stats
YouTube
over
has?
like the last week were better.
Good gosh. Well, last few things I'll ask you, man, is you got anything planned coming ending 2024, going into 25? You want to let the audience know about?
No, right now we're like I said, we're doing the XFIM stuff. Directly after XFIM is going to be Boobs 3. We're going to launch that, and then directly after that, we're going to be launching a pirate-themed book called Surrender the Booty.
Sounds like my kind of book. Are you like Chris Hansen?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good.
Oh my god! All right. So last thing I'll ask you is, do you have any shout outs we can get to anyone in particular? And they're trying to say before we head out.
Nah, man, fuck all those guys.
Who turned you into the Grinch? I need to know. Oh my god!
It's almost Christmas, man. It's gonna get worse. The closer it gets to Christmas, the more pissed off I get.
All you gotta do for your profile pictures is just add a Christmas hat to him. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm gonna do.
But yeah, guys. Thank you for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We will see you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.